Hey y'all, this is Deanna. Welcome to my channel. I am back with my next little fun idea. This is another Christmas in July idea for you. If you want to give a little gift to someone, this is another album, but even more simpler than the one I made 2 days ago. Okay, so the papers that I'm using for the base of my album is going to be this craft board sampler, and it's like almost as thick as like a piece of poster board. So that kind of gives you the idea of the thickness. It doesn't tell me 65 pound. I know it's not 65, but it doesn't really tell me the weight. But if you could think of it like the thickness of a poster board, that's about what it is. Now I've already cut my paper, and I've cut it at 7 inches in height, and I have the 12-inch in width. Okay, so this is going to be a 6x7 album, and I've already gone ahead and scored, and if you can even see that, I scored at 5.5 and 6.5. So 7 height, 12 width, and I scored at 5.5 and 6.5 to give me a 1-inch spine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold gently on my little folds, on my little creases there, so you can see this is how it's going to look. Now I've already cut my paper on where I'm going to mat everything, but I want to go ahead, and I think on this one I'm going to do it where I want to round my corners. So I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper, and I'm going to use the 1/4-inch side, and I'm going to just snip off my corners just so it'll give it a nice pretty look. Sometimes I leave mine straight, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I like to round them up. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I've already pre-cut my papers to cover everything up. And because I'm not using any kind of chipboard in there, you want to use some sturdy paper. So I would recommend a good 110-pound cardstock. And to layer up, I would do the same. Now, this red cardstock is 65, but I'm using this designer series paper, and it's really actually fairly thick. So for my designer series, or my base cardstock, you're gonna need 4 of these, okay? And these measure, let's see here. Just want to make sure. This one measures about 5 1/4, just a little bit less. Remember, we scored at 5.5, and so by cutting it about 5 1/4, it still leaves you a little bit of that white border around there, and you could see. But let's make sure that we round our corners first before we adhere. So we only want to round 2. I'm hoping that this corner rounder does a good job for me. Y'all know I've had problems with my corner rounders in the past. And I hope everybody's having a great day. I had kind of a lazy start this morning. Y'all, do you watch Virgin River on Netflix? Y'all, last year my daughter told me about it. I watched all the seasons. I think they had 3 seasons last year. Well, season 4 came out, and I watched the whole thing yesterday. So last night when I got home from work, I watched all of them, and I had 1 episode left this morning to watch. And let me tell you, it was pretty suspenseful. Okay, so I got those all ready to go here, and so I'm gonna mat the inside and the outside with some solid paper. This is just gonna make it more sturdy, and it makes it pretty. So let me see here. I'm gonna grab I think I'll grab my tape runner for this one. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of put it up, see where I wanna adhere this. I want to make sure it's centered and that it looks fairly good. Okay, so there is one side. See how I got a little bit of border? Now I'm going to do this other side, and then we're going to do the outside. Now Now I am going to put seam binding on this one as well. That's optional, but I like putting my seam binding. I like to have a nice little closure. Okay, so just trying to make sure I can see everything okay. Make sure it's up on this side of my score line. You don't want it to be obstructed by that score line there, because you got to be able to fold, okay? So I'm going to grab my bone folder. And if you watched my video last week in my Daiso haul, this little tool thing this right here is like for utensils. I keep it next to my desk right here, and anyway, it's nice to keep that on the side there. Okay, I also cut some for the center pieces as well. So that's going to go in here. And I also cut some designer paper for my center as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and adhere that first and get that in, and then I'll just put the whole big old piece on. So this paper that I'm using is like open bend paper. Let me see if I can see the name on it. Got it. Oh, it's the Dear Santa. And this one is Cartabella. So it's Dear Santa. I got it on scrapbook.com. I got open bend sheets. So I kind of like the striped. So I'm going to go with the striped on the outside. Y'all, can you believe that next week is already going to be, in one more week, it's already August. Okay, I'm just doing this slowly so I can try to get this as straight as I can get it. And I'm going to go ahead and get this one adhered down. But can you believe that it's already August? The month just flies by. Okay, I'm going to get this one. Oh, I got a little piece of sticky glue here. Okay, I got it a little off right here. I'm not going to worry about that. That's okay. Okay, make sure you're within that score lines. Oops, 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 oops. I think I'm going to do it this way. I want to make sure that I'm trying to get it even. Okay, that's going to work. And that actually isn't too bad. That'll be fun. So there we go. Got that. Okay, we'll put the designer paper, but let's go ahead and finish this red stuff here. Get the red paper. I do get my cardstock, my colored cardstock at Michael's. I'll be honest, I don't like the cardstock at Hobby Lobby. Once in a while, I'll buy an open bend sheet, but other than that, I really don't care for it. I actually like Michael's papers better for the solid. Okay, put that on there. Let's get this one. So by layering this up with multiple times, you get that stability that you need for a little simple album. You can put this together and make it like a gift for someone. Okay, so I'm looking, seeing where I'm at here. Okay, there I go. I left my center right there, looking good. Okay, let's do this. Let's put the designer paper on. So this spine pieces that I am putting on here, I'm putting it's about a little less than 1 inch, if that makes sense. Maybe about 6/8 of an inch. And then this one was actually a little smaller than that. I just measure mine up. I'm not really good at always saying, oh, this is how big it needs to be, you know, this and that. I always just measure mine up against the thing. Now, it's easier sometimes if you want to know exactly what these are. This one, actually, it was not 6/8. It's 7/8 of an inch. And then this one was 3/4. Okay, so if that helps you by the length, let me see what the length of this one is. And this one is 6 5/8, and this one is 6 7/8. So you just make them, just layer them up. You want to just make sure you have a little bit of that red going around. And that's pretty much how I do mine. I just kind of eyeball it, see where I want it to be. Okay, let's put this one on. But yes, if you watch Virgin River, let me know. it is so suspenseful. It really is. Okay, I'm going to put this down. Put this down. Okay, so there we go. Now let's adhere this one. Now, before I put my designer paper on and put this part on, if you want to add some kind of seam binding for your enclosure, you need to do that now. So I've still got some red and white over here like I used the other night. And I'm just going to put myself, as you know, I like to wrap mine around. And before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and adhere mine on. I'm just going to kind of stretch it out, see where I want it. That's going to look good about right there. So I'm just going to trim it. Okay, so I've got about, I don't know, close to 2 feet. And I'm going to go ahead, before I put that spine piece on, I'm going to put this on. And I know I already put the red on, and it's going to be underneath, and it's not going to be underneath the red on this one. It's okay. I'm not worried about that. You don't even have to put this if you don't want, but I like to just add it. I think it just adds something. It looks pretty. Okay. Okay, I'm going to find my center of this piece I cut. And then I'm going to stretch this out. Get that stretched. I'm going to get that down. And hopefully I get it straight as I can get it. So need a little bit more glue over here. And now I'm going to add a piece of red. Y'all know I like to double up here. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball myself a piece. Going to put my glue. I'm using our glitter glue from Amazon. That's where I buy mine. The paper that I'm using, the thick paper, I got it from Cricut, and I actually got it in one of my, okay, I'm trying to get this straight here. I actually got it in one of my Cricut mystery boxes, but I'm sure you could buy it. I'm sure Joann's has a lot of their products. You could buy it on Cricut.com, maybe Amazon, probably a lot of places you can purchase it. I've been thinking about making an Amazon storefront. Would that help you guys? So just let me know what you think about me doing that, and that way then it'd be easier to find things that I purchase on Amazon if you're interested. I've been thinking about that, so just let me know. Okay, I added a little glue on there. I wanted it to go on as nice and straight as I can get it. Down really well. Okay, and that's down pretty good. Now I'm going to take my designer papers. I'm going to use, I think I might do the, well, let me see if I got to decide here. I love the stripes so much, but I also love the little stockings. I think they're cute. I think I'll do striped inside and stockings outside. Okay, so we want to make sure before we add this on, we want to make sure that we round our corners. My 1/4 inch corner rounder. And make sure if you're using a directional print that you're rounding the correct sides. So this is how it's going to look. It's going to look like this, okay? Okay, so I think I'll just go ahead. I'm going to add tape, but I think I'm going to add glue. Since I have that seam binding, oops, I'm going to add glue because my tape just ran out. I'll have to get some more in my drawer, but I'm going to add it. Add and add. I had a lot of people comment on my last video telling me thank you for doing step by step. I understand that there are people out there that already know how to make albums, and there are people out there that don't. And so even though it does add a lot of time, like on the video and all that, I hope that by me adding it on and kind of going step by step, I hope that that helped you. And I hope that you like the way I did my pages. Okay, trying to make this on here straight. Okay. I'm going to grab my bone folder, get that down. Okay, and I'm going to do the other side. Let me grab my tape. Okay, I grabbed one of my refills. This is what I use. I get it from Hobby Lobby usually. And this is my little tape runner. You can just buy the refills. That's what I do until my tape runner breaks, and then I'll buy a new tape runner. But I think they're my favorite. I have like a ATC gun in my drawer, and y'all know I never use it. I just put that on the wrong side. Let me see if I can get that tape off. Actually, I'm gonna flip that because I'm gonna do red and white inside. I'm gonna need to round these corners. Okay, so let me do it right this time. Oh, you know what? Look what I did. 2 times in a row. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I do this right. 3rd time's the charm. It'll be okay because I can use those other ones on the inside. There we go. Now I'm in business. Okay, so I'm going to add some tape. And this album is just going to be simple with like a waterfall. Or you can think of it as like stacked pages. That's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to add glue since I put that designer, or since I put the seam binding. And plus, if you add glue, it gives you extra stability. Okay, gonna add this one on. I think last night when I was watching Virgin River, I think it was like 11:30 when I went to bed. Hubby, he had to work today. He was in bed. He didn't watch the whole thing with me. But okay. I like that. That's so nice. Okay. Okay, so here we go. That's what our cover looks like. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now I'm going to do these. I'm going to do this other side here. And I can use the part that I already had taped on. I could go ahead because I'm going to do red and white inside. So let me grab my tape. This one I think that you could probably whip out pretty fast. I'm going to add glue on here as well. I think that you could just get all this put together fairly quickly if you wanted to give something to someone. Okay, by putting that glue, it gives you a little wiggle room to move it around if it's not totally straight where you want it. Okay. So this is like 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside, and 1 in the middle. That's 5 pieces of paper. It's nice and thick. I don't think you're going to have any problem. Okay, got this one. Let me round this corner. Make sure I got on the 1/4 inch. So it's going to go here. I'm going to add my tape. This is very, very, very beginner friendly as well. And actually, I'm having so much fun. I could see myself making more and more of these. I think this would be a great craft fair idea. This would be great for craft fairs. As long as you're use sturdy paper. You want to make sure, oops, I almost put it upside down there. Use sturdy paper if you're going to put it in your craft fair. You want it to be nice and sturdy for your customer. Okay, there we go. How fun is this? Now we've got the base of our cover all done. No chipboard was needed. This will not eat any hinges. There we go, y'all. You hear that? Very sturdy. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to get ready for us to work on the inside. Does that kind of hurt your eyes? Does me, but it sure is beautiful. I love it. You got your enclosure here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a waterfall and I'm going to make a pocket. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now that we got the whole inside, y'all, this is sturdy. Look at that. And look at that. Isn't that nice? So nice. So sturdy, y'all. So sturdy. Okay, so I'm going to add a pocket over here, and we're going to do a simple waterfall over here. And actually, I'm going to make it where my waterfall are all going to end up being, I think I'm going to make them where they're just going to be stacked and they're going to be the same size, just so you can have multiple photo mats. Okay, so I'm going to cut my papers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my pieces cut for my photo mats and my pocket. So let's start with the pocket, and I've already got this one cut, and I cut this one at 4 by 6. I scored it at 1/2 inch on each side and the bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to get this one on. Okay, so and over here on this side, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to miter my corners. You might say, why didn't you use that pocket die that you purchased the other day? And I was going to, but the reason that I didn't is because not everybody has that pocket die, and I want you to be able to do this. Someone did ask me in the comments, what is the brand of the pocket die? And it's scrapbook.com. So just FYI. Okay. So I've got this already ready. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold these sides down. Fold that. And this right here. Okay, so this right here is going to fit right up inside of here. And I made the pocket a little bit smaller because I want to see this red and white striped come from behind. I want to see that. I think it's just beautiful. Okay, so then I've thought also about putting a little scallop, and I just went ahead and took some of my white paper, see what that looks like, and I used this punch. It's a Nikkei Successes. I think I got it scrapbook.com or Amazon, one of the two. And I thought about putting it like nicely behind. I think that's what I'll do. So before you put your pocket, you want to make sure you put this. And I'm just kind of measuring up, and this is probably, let me see how big that is. That's 5. Okay, so I want to make it 5 inches. So I'm just gonna come up here and measure against my little thing here. And my mind has been going nuts as I have been creating this, of how much I am having so much fun doing this. I hope that you will do the same. Okay, I think I like it where it's little dainty, cute, all up and behind there. So let me decide, and I know this is about 1 inch, but that's okay, it's behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some glue. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this adhered to the back of the top of my pocket. That way then it's all nice and in there. You don't have to worry about trying to slip it down in. And I'm just going to put it down this, about like that. See what, if you use tape, it's kind of hard to move. If you use glue, you can move it a little better. Okay, there we go. I think that will look good. See how it peeks out there? I think that's just going to be so beautiful. And I'm just going to go ahead and I can feel that paper right there. I want to press that down again. Okay. So now I'm just going to take my glue and I'm just going to glue my pocket. Make sure you get glue out up on the edge because that's, you don't want the edge of it to come up. Okay, so let's get this one adhered. I'm going to put that down, kind of center it. And I'm just going to kind of move it down just a little, just kind of position it where I want it. That glue gives you that wiggle room. Let me see. I think that's close enough. Let's get it pressed down. Okay. So now I have a little pocket. See? And you could have notched this out, but I wanted to put that scallop. I didn't want to ruin my beautiful scallop. This is the paper I'm going to add on the front of this, and I know that it might clash with the peppermint, the striped up here, but I think it's gorgeous. I love it, and so I'm gonna go with it. This paper right here was open bin paper that I got at Michael's. Okay, so let me see here. I'm just gonna use my tape runner for this part. Make sure you get your tape right along that edge. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to try to make sure I get this centered. Okay, and there we go. Let's get this pressed down really well. Isn't that so beautiful? What a beautiful little pocket it is. It's so beautiful. Let's work on the nether parts. So now, this is not going to be a waterfall where some of them are shorter than the other. They're all going to stack on top of each other. I just wanted it to make it simple, and I wanted to make it where they just stack on top of each other and they're all the same size, okay? So what I did is I kind of took my paper and I measured up in here how big I want my paper to be, and I want to see a little bit of that striped going around the sides, and I just absolutely love that. I think that that's just absolutely so beautiful. And so what I did is I cut my paper, and let me just look at my notes here. I cut my paper at 6 7/8 in height and 5 inches in width, and I scored each one at 1/2 inch, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my glue. And I'm going to start by adding my pages. Make sure I get that up toward the top there. Now I'm going to gently, I need to see this top here. I got to see what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm going to find my center. Just make sure I'm trying to center this the best that I can. Actually, that looks fairly good. So once you've got it exactly where you want it, get it pressed down really, really well. And there we go. Look at that. Okay. So now all you're going to do is you're going to continue by stacking. You're going to continue by stacking your papers together. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this one. And I'm going to stack it right on top. Okay. So I'm going to grab my glue. This piece of paper had a little crease in it, but it's going to be covered up, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so now I'm just going to try to get this stacked on top of that one. If you want to like glue them all together, then adhere it to the book, go for it. I'm just trying to make sure that I get these nicely adhered on top of each other. So now I have 2 together. So now I have 2. So I'm going to do 6. I think 6 will be a good number. Add my glue. Okay, I want to make sure that they stay the same at the bottom as well. Okay, and I'm gonna you want it to stay as close to the others as you can. Okay, and then I've got 3 more. Okay, that looks good. Two more. Okay. If you grab the one below it and just kind of hold that together, you can try to get it as even with those other ones as you can. Okay, so I'm going to press that down. So now see how it's looking? Now I got one more. Okay, so add my glue. Okay, let's get this last one on. It's gonna be cute, y'all. It's gonna be so cute. Okay. Okay. That glue off. And there we go. So now I have all my pages glued together. And they have made a very nice stacked bat of photo mats. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the papers that I have cut. I really like this one. See this? This one actually came off a Dear Santa, and it had cut-aparts in the back, but I had ordered 3 of these, so I decided to use this one. I really want to use this one as the top one. And so all you're going to do is measure your paper up against your photo mat and just cut them. Just cut them down. So remember, this is 5 inches across, so you can just cut it like 4 7/8 in width, and then a little bit shy of your length. Just measure it up against. I find that's the easiest. Okay. You want to make sure you get ample glue. On tape, you can do that as well. I'm gonna try to get these in the center. Let's see how that looks. Okay, press it down. Isn't that one pretty? So pretty. Okay, I'm going to add the rest of my designer paper on the other pages, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all my pages with my designer series paper. I did not put any on this side, but if you'd like to go ahead and do that, you can. So now this leaves me my 6 pages plus the back. I think I'll put a strip of something over the back, over that, just to kind of cover that up. And I think this was actually on one of the paper collections, and I'll show you what this is. Let me just measure it really fast. So this was actually on the bottom one of the paper collections, the Dear Santa, and it was talking about what to my wondering eye should appear, and I think that that would actually be a nice strip to put over there. So let's do that one really fast. Yeah, it was on the Dear Santa, so let me just add that. And I'm not going to cover the striped paper. I think it's beautiful. It can be utilized. Okay, so there is my pages. Now I have this cute little tag. It was on the Dear Santa cut aparts, and I thought it would be really cute to add it right in here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue it down. I just think that it would be so cute. I'm only going to put glue on on the bottom and the side right here. That way then if you want to use it as a, you know, if it wants to be used as a tuck spot, it can be. You can put something behind it, so you'll be able to have something behind there. But I think it's actually beautiful. Oh, you know, okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of my seam binding. Instead of punching a hole, I'm going to use my tiny attacher. And I'm just going to attach some here. So let me just grab, of course, red and white. Got a theme going here. So I'm just going to do like a little small amount, a couple inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, before too much gets glued down, I'm going to use my tiny attacher here. And I'm going to just staple that. And then on the top of that, I'll just tie a little knot so it looks like I actually poked a hole. I really didn't. I've been sitting here, you know, I matted those and thought, yeah, I'll be honest with you, the hardest part of projects for me is decorating it. And it should be the most fun, but it is the hardest part for me. Okay, so there we go. I like that. So there we go. Got that on there. And you will just add, we're just going to add stickers on the other page. And actually, let me see here. I've got these that I got from scrapbook.com. I'm going to utilize these. I'm just going to load this up. And so let's just go on to the next one. I like the presents. Let me see if I want to add. I need to see where I want to add it. I think I'm going to put it in the back. Put that back there. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to pull that up. It's too puffy. The thing about these is if you want to take it off, take these apart, you can. Look at that. I made it just a little bit. It took away the glitter part. But I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want it too puffy, I'm going to take off a piece of that. And I'm just going to glue that where it's flush. Okay, so let's do that. That way I can utilize that. I'm going to peel this off too, believe it or not, because I don't want it to stick up too much. Get that off. But yeah, this is the hardest part. Tell me when you're doing a project, what is your hardest part? I mean, what do you find the most difficult? Do you find it thinking up your project? Are you the type that needs your projects, you know, needs inspiration before you can do something? Or are you the type that can just, there we go. Can you just think something up in your head and there you go? My husband tells me sometimes, he said, I don't know how you think up so much stuff. And I'm like, well, you know, it just happens. It just comes, you know. I have to think about it sometime what I want to do. Okay, over here in this pocket, I found this one, Santa Please Stop Here. And I went ahead and matted it on red, white, and red. And it's going to go in this pocket right here. Isn't that precious? And then I also found this in the cut apart. It was like a branding strip on there. It says, wishing you a wonderful Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to pop this up on foam. I'm just going to get this glued down. But yeah, tell me what your hardest part of projects, when you have a project, what is the hardest part for you? Is it thinking of what you want to do? Is it that a hard thing for you? Or is it just decorating? Like, that's my issue. That's one of my hardest things. I really have to think about what I want to do. Maybe that's why I'm a clean and simple crafter, you know. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts on this is. I mean, what is what are your hard times? You know, what is the things that makes things harder for you? Or does it just come to you so nice and easy, and do you not have any issues? Now, I don't really have any problems figuring out what I want to do. It's the decorating part that I struggle with sometimes. And I have to really, really put it to my head and like think, what do I want to do? So I just added a few jimmies to that. And I have this one right here. I don't know if I want to use that. It's a little chipboard piece. I kind of like that. Let's go with that. But this is kind of how I have my thought process of it is I really have to just, you know, I just think about, you know, what do I want to do? And I really have to think about, you know, the decoration part. And look at this one. It's like a little present. I like that. But let's see where I want to put it. I think I'll put it on him. Okay, so let's skip on over to the front really fast. And what I did is I found this one in the cut aparts of this Dear Santa collection. And I thought that this would be really cute because it's got stockings on it. But then I found this on a sticker sheet, and I already matted it, put it on a circle. I used my scallop circle punch here, the CK Successes, and I just stuck it on here. But I felt because of the white on white, it just needed something. So what I'm going to do is I punched down another one, and I'm just going to offset it a little bit because it's the same size, and I'm just going to do it kind of like that. So that was my thoughts on that. Once I finally get the idea of what I want to do, then it's simple. Then it's so simple. And thinking up what I want to do is not my hard parts. You know, I mean, the project is not it's not the hard part for me. Okay, I want to just have Santa kind of popped up. And Santa's going to need to be popped up some way, somehow. Okay, so I'm going to grab my, double-sided foam tape. Okay, so this one is going to have to be, we need to pop this one up. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on it. You guys always write me and say, oh, you like it, or you give me a suggestion or whatever, but I want to hear from you. I want to know what is your most difficult part of when you're doing a project. I want to know. Okay, I'm just going to put a couple on here. I think it'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and get these off. And yes, y'all know I have been decorating with doilies lately, and I just don't know if I can get away from that. So I think I have a couple of little round red ones that I like to stick behind. I just want to have a little bit of something sticking out, and I really think that it just does so much. So I'm going to add this one. I don't have any big doilies. If I do, it might be in my closet. But I'm just going to see how that just gives it something. It's just so pretty. I like that, like that. Okay, I'm going to try to lay this down. See how that really, it just gives it something. It gives it a little extra something there. Okay, I want to make sure that this Santa gets up underneath here. Actually, I think I might not pop him up. I think I might just have him peeking out. Or let me see if I want to put him on the top. I think I want to put him on the top, so I'm going to press that down. And I'm going to glue it halfway, and then I'm going to have foam tape underneath the back. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work for me. And if you're still with me, leave me a comment right now and let me know. I'm still with you. I want to hear her. I want to hear. I know this is long, but you know, projects do take long. You can't just do them like super fast. You have to put some effort in it, I guess I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'll put some glue. I just have to put it right where I want it. Okay, there. See how that looks? Having him on there, I like him. I like the Santas that are just cutesy like that. You know, fun fact, let me just tell you this. I have a friend that I work with, and her name is Nancy, and her husband is Santa Claus. He is. So I always tell her, you live with Santa. And she's like, I do. Okay, I like that. Okay, so let me just show you the end product, okay? So this is what it looks like. So sturdy, did not need any chipboard in there. Look at this, I still have a little room to grow, so I can add more things on this side if I want. If you wanted to do, instead of a pocket, if you wanted to do 2 of these, you can do that as well. But I thought I would just make it super simple. But anyway, let's just kind of walk through the front. So of course I put the stockings were hung by the chimney with care. This is the Dear Santa collection, and it is, let me see here, it's Dear Santa by Cartabella. Okay, so, and Cartabella paper is so thick. Okay, so I've got that on there. I added a strip of the sticker from the sticker sheet, and of course it would not be a Deanna project without a few jimmies. You saw that I added the Sweet Santa, and I found this Santa Please Stop Here, and I popped that up on some foam tape. You can see that I popped it up on foam tape, and I thought it was just fitting with this project. So you've got your seam binding, and then when you open it up, this is what it looks like. So of course I added this kind of part in here. I added this cute little bow that came on the stickers that I had ordered. I think they're by Paper House. This is the brand, 3D stickers. And so I thought it would be cute, and then I added this one. I did not mat this one because it already had a nice border around it, and it has a really nice background on the back, so I didn't mat that. So I thought that would be cute. Photos could go in there, journaling cards could go in here, whatever you like. I added this strip, wishing you a wonderful Christmas. Of course, I put some jimmies on there. I added a sticker. And then over here, I have this right here, and it's got, of course, it's got this text spot over here that you can add a photo mat on there. And of course, you saw that I had added this little seam binding on here, and I just stapled it on. And then this is what I added on this page. I just put all I want for Christmas, and it was like popped up on this one as well, and I took it off. It was just too much for me, so I took that off. And then this one right here was just the sticker sheet, and I just added a red doily behind it, and I thought that kind of gave it a little separation from the Christmas ornaments that are on there. And then I just added a sticker, and this has got just presents on there, so I thought that that was super cute. And then this one is also on this one right here, and it's We Love Santa, but it was layered up and I took it apart. So I wanted it kind of a little bit more flatter, not too bulky. I added a sweet little Christmas tree on this page, and then on the back I just added, of course, the Christmas presents. Okay, things could be added on the backs of your pages as well. And I just think that this turned out just darling. I love how sturdy it is. Let me get this tied up. Okay, I'm going to tie this and get a cute, see if I can make a bow on here. And this project can be made in not just Christmas paper, any paper, of course. How sweet is that? Look at that. You could also, if you wanted to do this, and I think I'm going to come back and use the same idea, and I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to make it a surprise for my next idea, but I might use the same technique using doing other things as well. I'll save that for you. But anyway, that is it. How cute is this? Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. You can also, if you wanted to add a cute little Santa back here, you can. I love this one right here, Merry Christmas. How cute is he? If you wanted to do that, you can do so much on it. But it's just turned out precious. This just turned out so cute and so sturdy. And no chipboard was used. And the only dies I used out of this whole thing is when I die cutted this circle right here. Other than that, it was stickers, paper, glue, tape, seam binding, and paper. More paper. So anyway, I hope that you guys will give this project a try. I hope that you enjoy this. I hope you are having a fabulous Saturday. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by my channel and taking time to just stop by and just kind of, you know, spend some time with me during your day. I appreciate that so, so, so much. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.